Well, we're back again. It's never ending this. We're back in Virtual Pool 4 online. And yes, we've another match. We've got two more matches today. The one that's about to start in about 2 minutes time is on the one loss side. The second one also is on one loss side. This one is between Bedhead and Mooncake. And they're going to go at the top of the hour, race to 10. And then in 90 minutes time we have Sylvia against Mr. Bill, also a race to 10. Let's have a quick look at the bracket. The first thing to point out is if we look down here, we'll see that Hazard has moved through to the one loss side. If you weren't here earlier watching the Albanario Acero match, Hazard is in Spain. He's working in Spain and couldn't make the match, so his opponent has been advanced and Hazard has moved over to the one loss side. And on the winner side, we go from top to bottom. We see that Albanario won out against Acero. Acero had a 4-1 lead. His break wasn't working early on at all, couldn't get a ball. Then it did work, and then he just couldn't string the racks. Mistakes from both players, but in the end, as I predicted, Acero couldn't raise his game to the same level that he was earlier on in the match against Bill in the previous round. So Acero moves over to the one loss side, and Albanario is advanced to play Stub, and that's going to be a hot one. And this bloody thing annoys me, so it does. Anyway, further down the bracket we have Spectre Dawn through after his match against Mooncake, sent Mooncake to the one loss side, and if you see the result there, it was 14-2 to Spectre Dawn, and it could be something similar tonight if Mooncake doesn't string something together. He has to pop balls for a start, and he was not in the game at all against Spectre Dawn. And then of course further down, Jover was going to be Hazard's opponent, and Jover has been put through, advanced to play Spectre Dawn. And I hasten to add, I think Jover's going to find it tough, and their match has already been arranged for 9 PM. I think that is, oh wait a minute, I need to get out of my chair again, sorry, 5 PM on October the 4th, so that's a good few days away. I mean, these guys have got until October the 15th to play their match, so plenty of time. This is only the 27th, so that's well, that looks like well, let me work that out. 30 days has September, so 3 days from now would be tomorrow's the 28th, that's Monday, Tuesday the 29th, Wednesday the 30th, and Thursday the 1st, Friday the 2nd, Saturday the 4th, 3rd, Sunday the 4th, and Monday the 5th, I think that is. So it's a week tomorrow, that match. Took me all that time to work that out. And over on the one loss side, we can see Bill and Sylvia lined up, and the winner of that match is going to play semi-pro, so whoever gets through, it's going to be a tough tie between those two, whoever they're going to be. Bill will be the favourite, of course. We have Linus lined up to play Wink at Me. They've still to arrange their match, but the bad news for them is they're going to bump into Acero, who is obviously going to have to recover from that defeat against Albanario. And then of course we have the match with Cobra and Hazard, and further up we've got the match right now. The room should be up, in fact we'll just jump in from the bracket, and they're already in the first rack. So it's Mooncake at the table. Now, need I mention the rules again? It's 10 ball, it's winner breaks, and Mooncake's going out of line. Now I think he's too close to pot that. Yeah. All combos and banks should be called. No jump cues, jumps are allowed if you can. Albinario played one in his match earlier on, managed to jump out, didn't pot the ball, but he got the hit on the object ball. And 60-second shot clock, 60-second extension. I think that is about it. Well, he's got the safety, and he's going to have to get a few of those put together to keep Bedhead quiet. Once again, we should be streaming live on Facebook, YouTube and Twitch. Well, Mooncake can obviously see the 6, it's a difficult cut. But again, he can play the safety if he wants, he can just bank that 6 onto the side rail. The 7 ball would be protecting the bank, and the 10 ball's protecting the reverse bank. So he could play the safety. Well, all out for the pot, and pretty good on the 7. Now, is he going to run out? That's a big question. He's almost got there, I think, and that's pretty good. Should be fairly straightforward now. Just push right through, off the end rail and up. Or is he going to draw back? That's a bit dangerous because there's a slight angle on it, so it should be going forward. Well, this will be a good start, getting off the mark straight away. Of course, now with the break. Eight ball goes in. 1 ball thinking about it, which is actually not a bad thing because it's still on, he can cut it. And the 2 ball is freely available up the table, and these balls are sitting good. And these are the type of tables that you have to run out. I presume he can see the 1. Yes, he can. Hopefully he's had a look at it to see how thin he needs to chip this. He doesn't want to get too much pace into this, and that will be okay. Simple pot in the 2, and again, he's got to think about the angle in this 3 though. He has to make sure that he can roll through on this 3, so he wants to be sort of on this line, and that's fine. He's okay. In fact, he can probably run down to the 10 ball, use it as a stopper if he needs to. It's all about rolling the 5 in, and I would suggest if he's leaving this 5 straightish, he wants to roll right through and above the 6 so he can roll it into the right middle. he's underhit that. If that was the intention, to roll through, so now he's got an angle in the 5. We'll see how good he ends up on this 6 ball from this shot, and that is good. He's plenty of power in it. He's on the right side of this 6 ball, but he's close to the rail, so he can't really get into the cue ball a lot. He's going to have to jack up. And if he runs through, he's got to be careful he doesn't get too close to the 7. But that is well played. And he should be out here for 2-0. Well, already in the space of 2 racks, this is far more impressive from Mooncake. This is night and day. The question is now is whether he can keep this up. But he's going to have a 2 rack lead. You're first in again, Bill. Nobody else is here. Good evening, welcome back. Well, the break, this time dry from Mooncake. Oh, so Larry is Chet on YouTube and Larry on Twitch. Good evening, good afternoon. Well, Bedhead on 1, that's not the issue. The issue is getting on the 2. And, well, there is a narrow window. Whether he wants to take a risk in trying to get that window between the 6 and 9, I don't know. The safest place is to get right over on the left-hand rail, but then again, it's finding the path to get out for the 3 ball, so there's a bit of thinking to be done here by Bedhead. And the fact that Mooncake's got off to such a good start, it's prompted Bedhead into making sure he gets things right, because this is not the start that I thought it would be, and he's found a gap, but now he's going to have to dig deep here to yank that cue ball out of that corner. I don't know whether he can avoid hitting anything here. Well, that kiss on the 4 hasn't done him much harm, and that kiss on the 3 has improved it even better. So he can pot the 3. He's going to have to probably just maybe check this with a wee feather of left, just to make sure he goes over to the left far enough. Now he wanted to really be able to avoid this 9 ball and stun this hard to try and get over to the 7 and 5, I would think. 5 doesn't go past the 7. Well, again, a nice little nudge on the 10. Well, he's working hard, and so far things have worked out. He's got there one way or another, but he doesn't think he can pot this 5. He's looking for the safety. Of course, the other problem was the fact that he could have cut the 5. He may well have ran into the 10, the 6 ball being the problem. So rather than taking that risk, he's decided to put Mooncake in trouble. And well, I would suggest that Mooncake makes sure he does get somewhere near that 5, because the 6 ball is going to be the problem that has to be dealt with if Bedhead ends up with ball in hand. So I wouldn't want to change the lay of these balls at the moment. Now he's called the 5 presumably into the left middle, but I don't think he's got the angle there to get it from that way, but certainly he's got the rail. I think you thought he was looking at 2 rails there, but he's fine if he can pick the line. I think he's too wide. No, he's got the hit. But like I say, he's left the 5 on. Now what does Bedhead do? Does he just take his medicine, pot the 5 and go for the 6-10 combo? Or does he try and somehow feed that cue ball in amongst them to try and get on the 6? I don't know what the wiser move would be. I think I'd be maybe trying to get up to the middle pocket on this left hand side and leave me as best line as possible to take on the combo. I think that's probably the safest bet rather than doing something silly. And that is, well, it's probably, if he'd finished before the pocket he would have been fine. He's just offline, so it makes it much more difficult. But I'm sure, I don't think he can push through if he's thinking of playing the snooker. I don't think he can do that. The 10 ball's in the way, so I think he's made his mind up. 10 ball has been called. He's just looking at the line onto that 10 where he just needs to, I mean, when you're playing this shot you have to just look at the line that the 6 ball's taken and keep that image in your head and then play the shot, and then the 10 ball, the 6 should go onto the 10 with the line that you've chosen. Well, in the end he sort of played a half-hearted attempt at something. It's hard to say that it was the combo because it was so badly played. Strange one that from Bedhead. It was half-hearted. He didn't really go with a great deal of conviction. And having said that, the 6 ball is on and Mooncake's going to have to go up and down. Now I think there's too much angle on this cut. What's he looking at here? Into the corner. I'd still prefer taking it in the middle and letting the cue ball run. If you come down the left or right side you have a fair chance of getting on the 7. I don't like the corner shot though, but he's taking it in the middle. He's overcut it, and the worst possible outcome is scratched. So this time it's ball in hand and a chance to get off the mark for Bedhead. Just roll through to the bottom rail, take the 8 ball into the right middle. That'll be the plan, I would think, unless he wants to stop the cue ball and roll the 8 up into the top corner pocket, but either or, he should be out. Well, that's what he's done. Welcome back, Slim. Just saw your message there. I was too busy looking at the table. So finally Bedhead gets a rack on the board. Good evening, Keith. Welcome back. We're just an hour and 10 minutes away from the last match today, which will be between Sylvia and Bill. And Well, it was a good start for Mooncake because he finally actually managed to run a table to give him the 2-0 lead, which was a vast improvement than his last efforts in the previous match. So Bedhead coming up dry, and well, Mooncake's called to push. He's going to be put straight back in, I think. Bedhead's having a look, but I don't think there'll be much doubt he'll be put back in. Well, maybe not. He's going to have to line up to play the jump then, by the look of it. So Albinario was successful in escaping a snooker with a jump, but oh, I haven't noticed it's been pushed back. Well, there's another one from Mooncake. That was excellent. And well, he can push through onto the 5. He's just got to get the weight right, but this is a simple enough shot just to lock up on the 5. Well, that was not played very well. You've got to pick a better line to make sure you get right nailed onto that 5 ball. That was poor, because he's left himself open to some trouble here if Bedhead gets this right. Yeah, well, it might be a gap there. It might be a gap, and there is. So Mooncake can return the favour if he can get it right. Well, the 8 ball has helped him out there, and once again, look at the balls. They are all on, and Bedhead has got to get a result here, and more important for Mooncake's prospects in this match, if he gets ball in hand, he's got to get this table ran out. If this opportunity comes around, he can't waste them. Well, I mentioned about players at one point in the tournament having a bad match, and people were saying, you know, Albie had made more. Well, he certainly did. He made more mistakes in that match this afternoon than he did in the whole tournament so far, but he was still strong to win out in the end. And well, Mooncake had his bad match, the one against Spectre Dawn, losing by 14 racks to 2 because he was not in it. But now he has the chance to prove himself again with ball in hand. Now, well, he doesn't want to stun behind this 7 ball. If anything, he might hit it, but well, he stunned it to leave it long, and that'll do because the line is good, just off straight, which will take him directly onto the 5. Well, if we want to see a competitive match, this is the right way to go about it. Mooncake with a 2 racks to 1 lead and the chance to go 3-1 up. An excellent chance to do so, but it's going to be from the 8 to the 9 that matters. Must leave the angle on this 7. Well, this is, to me, is just a straightforward pot and let the cue ball come off the rail. He seems to be drawing this for whatever reason. Oh, he's just dragging it to kill it. But you see, he's not got quite as much angle as he should have. He needed to be out in the table another 2 or 3 inches. He can still go forward, but he's got to get there. And he's too heavy, or is he going to be heavy enough to go straight in the 8? I think he's won a watch there. Now, if you go right through, you're going to leave one of those awkward cuts in the 9. If you dig in and you go all out for it, you can stun across for the 9 into this bottom right hand corner as we're looking. Well, he's managed to draw it back. That's not bad. That's ended up a lot better than I thought it would. And now, unless disaster befalls this 10 ball, he's got the 3 racks to 1 lead. Race to 10 could be interesting. And these balls are broke very nicely. He's got a ball in the break. Oh, now, well, the 2 ball done him a favour by clearing the 8, but the 2 ball's now blocking the 1. No, that, listen, Slim, we were talking about that last night, about Moz. Moz last night, early on, was a contender. He was a different player because he wasn't in the stream with Duffman last night. Duffman wasn't streaming, and Moz started off a lot better, and there's no way I would ever stream. That's an ego thing anyway. Half the time, anybody that's streaming something like that, you know, I'm not going to stream and commentate at the same time. You'll never see that happen. You will wait a long time before you ever see that happening. And I like the way you say you were a good player. Thanks very much for that, Slim. Yeah, I was. I always describe myself as average. I know what I want to do, but executing it's a different thing. That's part of the problem. And the eyes have gone, and Bedhead's got bigger problems than I've got right now because he's trailing 3-1. The table's wide open, and he knows he should be back to within 1 after this visit. I played in the Cowboy World Championships on the 9-foot table, but I must admit I'm more akin to the 10-foot table now. I think I won. Did I win 1 match or 2 matches in that, and then I got my arse handed to me by was it Baker Maker? I had 1 chance at a scratch to win a rack against Baker Maker, and I got pasted in the other racks. So I'm still recovering from that. But I actually get more enjoyment watching and commentating than I do playing, for all the time I get to play anyway, which is very little nowadays. Gone are the days where I used to sit for hours playing. It doesn't happen now. Well, Bedhead has got that way wrong. I mean, he is well out of line here, and this is a pressure shot if ever there was one. I mean, this is a genuine blind pocket pot, this cut on the 6, and you don't want to have to be digging these out to survive. But that was a good shot. That was tough. And if you haven't seen any of, I mentioned this earlier, if you haven't seen any of Bedhead's matches in this one loss side, he has been very impressive, very solid, and looking good. He'll still end up having the Bedhead shots though, but he hasn't had that many of them. That 6 ball was one example. And he's back within 1. So the last match of the day is just about an hour and 2 minutes away. And Bedhead breaking off in rack number 6. And he's got a ball in the break. The 3 ball has gone. No shot in the 1. Now does he call the bank? But the other problem is he's got no shot in the 2 either. So now he can draw off this 1 to that side rail and come down round towards the 4. There's a chance that the 1 ball, if he plays the shot I'm thinking of, well, he's pushed to that side, but there was a possible chance of drawing off that to there and down to here. Now with the power that he would have had to played it, that 1 ball would have went there and there. He could have used those as cover, but anyway, he's chosen a different route. The question now though is whether Mooncake wants to play, because he can push it back. But he's going to play, but it'd be interesting to have seen what Bedhead would have done. But he's got the right idea with this shot. That's excellent. That is an excellent safety. Picked a line well, used a 4 ball, and Bedhead is in trouble. Lots of inside left, back rail, kick into maybe 2 rails here, back rail, side rail, and kick the 1. But if he hits it too hard, it won't react. He's got the pace right, and he hasn't got a rail, has he? Oh, that must have just feathered the rail and no more. I think it's, well, it's not frozen, so it just hit the rail and no more. Well, the target's over behind the 5 and 2 if he can get there. He's just short of pace, is he? Nope, he's played it well again. Well, another good safety from Moon. This is 10 times better than he played in that match against Spectre Dawn. This is night and day so far. But he had to. I mean, I don't think he could get any worse. The only way was up. So round about the middle diamond and that top rail, somewhere maybe just before it, to get a hit on the 1 ball. He's called the 1 into the corner just in case. Good hit. And well, awkward. Let's have a look down over the queue. I think he's probably doing the right thing here. Is he going to try and tuck behind a 4? Well, that's another excellent execution for the safety. Well, he's definitely using the head in this match. Well, it's as if somebody else has logged into his account and is playing for him, because this is nothing like what he played in the first match, believe me. This is a A big difference. So Bedhead taking the option to just untidy things for Mooncake, but Mooncake should nail him to this 8-ball because he's going for the 3 fouls now, and now he has to get this tight. It'll all be a waste of time if he doesn't get this tight, and that will do. It's not tight, but again, where the cue ball's lying, there's very little angle there to work with. Let's see. Well, there's no point looking down there, so you've got to be looking. Let's get the little doodle thing working. So if you hit there and you go off the tangent there, and then, well, wait a minute, and then that goes, that tangent, oh, I've lost my line, hang on a minute, I'll get that to work. The tangent line would be there. It would be, the line is there. Now he's called a 9 just in case, but it's somewhere. The top rail's the biggest problem. Once you get to that second rail, it's there or thereabouts. Yeah, it was difficult to judge. So Mooncake was going for the 3 fouls. Well, he probably can't go for it now. He's looking to see if the 2 will squeeze past the 8, which I think, well, he's going to have to get that sweet. And if you look at the 2, it doesn't go past the 5 that way. This has got to be, just go right flush past that 8-ball, and the cue ball, if he gets, it all depends on the line he has on the 2 for a start. Once he pots the 1, a little draw, just a gentle one, but the cue ball, if he gets straightish on the 2, well, that's not done any harm because it's still a good line. It will take him up towards the 6-ball and he'll be on the 4, but this one is the clincher because it does go, and he's just got to let it get to the pocket. This is just a plain pot, get the line right, and that is dead weight, and that is perfect. The only problem is it's so dead weight he's left himself short in the 4. 4's off the rail, so I think he wants to chip this a wee bit just to avoid running into the 7. He's avoided the 7, that'll do. Managed to get away with that one. Well, forward and 2 rails, possibly 3 rails and out to get a sight in the 6. I don't think he wants to sort of chicken out here in this 5-ball. He wants to get, is he coming back the way or is he going forward? Yeah, 1, 2, anything but nailed on the 6. Well, that's the worst one. Now that goes, it's just about picking that line, and he needs to be careful in what he's doing with the cue ball here, because if he gets into this too much, he could fizz into the middle pocket, and he's hung it up. So the chance is gone. Just getting out of shape. One thing leads to another and the inevitable happens. So Bedhead's opportunity to get back all square. So Mooncake's 3 racks to 1 lead has now gone. Ten ball in. 10 ball gets respotted, but no shot. These balls once again have broke very nicely. Well, it looks as if Bedhead's just he's called the 10 ball, but he's just going to push the one down towards the 6. It looks like to me. Well, that wasn't exactly what I thought he was going to do, and I'm sure he thought that he was going to miss that 4 ball, but he's pushed it straight off the rail into the 4 ball, left it wide open, and if Mooncake can get back up on this too, he will have a good chance. And he's short, and well, I don't think he needs to worry about anything. He just needs to gently pot this off the side rail. Doesn't need to do anything. He just, that way he's going to see the 3 no problem. And he didn't want to do that because there was a danger of running too far in towards the 6, but you can see the 3. Now the question is just to kill the cue ball there. Just let it run out. Well, there's a slight angle in the 4. Now he could stun off this or draw back and come up to the middle pocket. As long as he goes past the 8, that's one way of doing it. He could, if he's just, he is playing the draw. And that'll do. That's what the doctor ordered. Now the next one is how to get on the 6, and that 10 ball is the problem. If he stuns hard enough, he should go through the gap. Well, he's played the draw instead. How does that look? That's not bad either with the angle. Plenty of room in the right hand side, but he certainly doesn't want to go through and finish inside the 7 on that right side rail. Or is he just going to drop through to the bottom rail? No, he's managed to stun again. Quite content to play those shots. As long as they go in, you're fine. He's keeping the line. Right, well, either stop the cue ball or make sure you go right off that railing out. The only thing that's going to go wrong here is a scratch in the right middle pocket. And he's went inside, taking all of that out of the equation, got to the middle pocket there. That's always a danger if you go down the right hand side to get in that 10, is that scratch. So I avoided that. And that's a good rack to win, having seen Bedhead tie the match. Keeps him back in front. Well, that's another good break. Nothing's gone in. And also though, the 10 ball has come to Mooncake's rescue. It's not a bad reply from Bedhead. Only a third of that one ball showing, which means that the cue ball's only going towards the 6. Well, depending on the weight of shot he plays here, he's going to hit the 1, he's going to run towards the 6, the 1's going to go that way, and the 1 will be left on. Well, he's got out of jail there, because that was exactly what was happening until the cue ball kept running behind the 5. I mean, that's what I'm also saying. When you visualise a shot, how a shot may well come about, you've got to know that with the limited space that you had available, the cue ball was going to hit the 6 and stay there, and the 1 ball was going to stay where it was. But meanwhile, Bedhead has cut the 1. Excellent shot. And he's going to have to call the 6. A long 2-6 combo, and if he just cuts this too soon, he's going to hit the 7. That's very adjacent, that 7 ball, but he can use the space and cheat off the rail to get this 6 in. Yeah, that'll do. Oh dear, well, surprise, surprise. The 6 hasn't gone in, but it should be going in this time, even though Mooncake can't see the 2. It's an easy enough kick just to chip that 2, push the 6 in, so he has to watch the pace of this shot. He doesn't want to beat the living daylights out of this 2 ball to pot the 6. And you would think as long as he chips anywhere on that 2, the 6 has to go in, so he has to play this a gentle pace to make sure he can at least still see the 2. That will do, and that's a perfect angle to get out from all the bother up in that corner and over for the 3. Of course, the 4 ball's up there as well, which helps. Well, this would be another excellent rack to pinch for Mooncake, having saw his lead diminish. A chance to restore it. Now, don't try and get too cute here. Don't try and run over towards the 7 and 10. You have to be 100% sure of what you're about here, because this could go ugly very quickly. He's playing it with check to make sure he doesn't go near them, and again, that shows you he's thinking about what he's doing, because if you just let that cue ball run, you're running into trouble possibly. But again, avoided all of that. And pace is good, nice on the 7. Now he's got 2 ways of going about this. Just roll through to the end rail and out, so he's leaving the long 8 ball fairly straight. Well, he stunned it again. He seems happy I played the stun, and as long as it's working, then no reason to change it. I think he's maybe a wee bit too straight. Now what does he do here? Straight through, 9 goes past the 10, or does he stun it? Well, he could have done with just running a wee bit more. He should be getting it, no problem though. Well, this is much better. This is more like you want to see a player playing if they're going to be competitive, especially after the drubbing that he got in that last match. So he's already restored his credibility. Well, I think that was the first time I'd seen Mooncake in that last match against Spectre Dawn, but If this is the way he can play, then it's certainly more akin to the level you want to be at if you're going to be able to pop balls and run tables. And he gets a ball in the break. The 6 ball is gone, and what's more, he's on the 1. Again, if he just minds what he's doing here, he could be in business. I mean, it's more than likely going to be a 5-7 combo when it comes to it, so he doesn't need to worry about that. He just needs to take his time, not rush anything, not do anything stupid. Basically, you don't want to lose a rat because of your own mistake. You just want to mind what you're doing, take your time, use the shot clock, think about what you're doing, and you'll get there. The odds are very likely you're going to get there. So, a gentle roll with the 5, keep the 5 there. Now this one is the one you've got to judge nice. And that will do. And well, if he just rolls it in, he's rolling the 9 in and he's on the 10, no problem. He doesn't want to do anything elaborate here. He can just roll it in, play the 9 long. Well, this is a good retaliation from Mooncake. Now this just needs to be taken care of. Just watch how you hit the 10 off the rail. Well, Bedhead now has been given something to think about because it's a 6-3 lead for Mooncake in a race to 10. And another good break. I mean, these balls are breaking well. Nothing's gone in though. But it still means that there's big pressure on now for Bedhead because of the way the balls are lying. The only problem ball's the 2 ball. Obviously the 1 ball's going to move, but Bedhead will be thinking a fair bit now. And he's going to have to dig deep. Now, what's Bedhead done? He's pushed. And the 1 doesn't go through to the 7. So once again, Mooncake can either play or pass. And a good safety once again, which applies the pressure even more. This is how you be competitive. If only half the players that are out the tournament actually watched the difference here between his first match and how he's playing now, it is, believe me, night and day. Well, Bedhead just clipped to 1, but he's left it on. Now what is Mooncake going to do here? It's going to have to be the 3 ball combo. It goes in every day of the week, this one. As long as you just come back to here, you can't miss it. A blind man with a wooden leg and 1 arm would knock that in. And that is perfect. Can't miss it. It could go ugly depending where the 2 ball finishes, but he should certainly be potting a 7. Like that, you know, commentator's eye again. 2 ball was always going towards that side rail, but he's got a fairly simple safety, and he's going to go long, cross spank it. If it misses a 6, it's good. It's not bad. There is an edge showing. Bedhead's got to be careful though that he avoids hitting something early on here if he's trying to get the distance. But it is now a player under pressure, trailing by 3. And that cue ball has just got there. So now the shoe's in the other foot. Mooncake looking for a way to hit this 2. Now he could go 2 rails around the corner, behind the 8-ball. There is a path that direction as we look. He could go off the long rail on the side there just next to the 8. That's the shorter way to get to the 2, but he's going 2 rails. He's got the edge of the 2. How's his luck? Cue ball needs to keep running. Well, it's not bad. Is Bedhead going to be brave enough to get the touch and roll through onto the 5? Well, is it all out for the bank? He knows if he gets it, he should be on the 3 and he should be running out if he can. Well, this is a big shot. Well, he is going for it, I think. And he isn't there, and that's going to be left on for Mooncake as long as the 2-ball keeps running, which it has done. Well, this is a way to punish your opponent for shots like that go wrong. And Mooncake doing the right thing. He's just taking his time, looking at where the 3 is and where he wants to have this cue ball so that he can see the 3. Oh, I think he's chickened out. He was trying to be cute, and he's now hooked. So the light has fizzled out there in this attempt. Straight away, first shot. Got to be positive to make sure you take all of these things out of the equation. There was 2 big gaps to get into there and he's missed both. So now it's the old hit and hope. Oh, this could be nice. Well, it's not particularly nice, and it's not particularly inviting for Bedhead either. This is a toughie. Yeah, he's done the right thing. Nailed it to the 10. So now Bedhead should be in complete control here with that single shot. But it's a fairly big target. If you go to the side rail past the middle pocket, you have a strong chance of at least hitting the 3. He's called it, I believe, the corner pocket, but he's just obviously looking for a hit. As long as he hits it, he'll be happy, and then the rest is up to fate. Well, he's got the hit. How's his luck this time? Oh, he's not got it this time. And Bedhead, his safety finally has been rewarded. He's got the 3-ball on and everything else at his mercy. But he's under pressure though. And he's doing a fair bit of thinking. So roll the 3 in, leave an angle in the 4. Well, he's not got much of an angle, so he may well just draw back to leave the 5 into that far corner. I don't think he wants to be trying anything spectacular here. Or is he going to come back for it in the middle? Yeah, just leaving it into the corner, but he's the wrong side of this 5. This isn't where he wanted to be playing this 5 from, believe me. He wanted to be a bit better on it, because he's now running away towards the 8 with the normal path of the cue ball. So now he's having to work something out here. And he's left a cut, but he should miss the 9, come around maybe 2 or 3 rails here for a shot in the 8. 1, 2, needs to bounce. Well, he potted, was it a 6 ball he potted earlier in one of the racks, which was a cracker. He's going to have to play another good one. Well, you're such a well-behaved audience, not a whisper out of any of yous, unless I put yous all to sleep. Or are you so engrossed in what's happening? Well, it's the old cliche, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. A very well used cliche. Is that going to be the case here for Bedhead, still trailing by 2? No need for Mooncake to panic and do desperate things. He just has to be patient. But Bedhead has broke off. The 1 ball has gone and the 9 ball has come to Mooncake's rescue. Yeah, I certainly do. Well, this could have been, well, apart from the 5 and 6, it could have been a good chance for Bedhead. Still might be, but he's going to have to, well, put it this way, the push out is difficult. I mean, he can push down towards the 3, he's going to leave a cut. If he pushes anywhere over to the left, he's going to leave the pot. What the hell does he do? He's trying to keep it as close to the side rail as possible by pushing into the 9. I don't think he can hide this 2 if he goes up towards the 3. 2 balls jutting out here. Well, I don't see the logic in that at all. He was always going to leave the pot in the 2. But he's riding on the basis that the 5 and the 6 are difficult. It's difficult enough to get on the 3, but there's a big wide path between that 10 ball and the side rail. As long as he gets up to that middle pocket in the left, he will be able to see the 3, and he may well be able to disturb the 5 and 6. Let's have a look at this 5. Yeah, it doesn't go, so well, this is a crucial shot by Mooncake. He might want to, well, that's perfect. I mean, the pace is good. Is it perfect enough to give him anything? Well, if he's going to do anything, he's going to have to dig in this 3 ball, come off the short rail and into the 5 and hope he gets lucky, or he just comes off the rail and out and pushes on the 5 and sticks the cue ball to the 6, because that's immediately what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm looking at what the odds are and getting a good outcome by digging into this 3 and trying to manoeuvre the cue ball towards the 5, or just taking my medicine and playing a decent safety. And he can do it. Well, he didn't get into it enough. That was the first problem there. He had to dig into that to get that cue ball into the rail and onto the 5. But he had that second option that I mentioned, but now he's having to find another decent safety. So we are 27 minutes away from the match, the final match today between Sylvia and Mr. Bill. Sylvia's already in VP4, she'll be in practicing. Well, that has worked out absolutely perfectly. Look at where the cue ball is, and look where the 5's finished. He couldn't have asked for a better outcome. And this has got Bedhead in lots of trouble. Well, this is just completely a hit and hope. I can't give him any advice here. Just give it a smack, call a pocket or something, and hope you get lucky. Well, right now, if this goes the way it's headed, it could be the biggest shock of the tournament, bearing in mind how Mooncake played in his first match, and I've never seen him before. Well, he's missed the 5 completely. So ball in hand for Mooncake. 5 in past the 9. Just roll through. And I would suggest roll through as far as you can. Even if he goes to the rail, he's going to have the cut in the 6, no problem, and he'll be on the 7. But it looks as if the way he's placing the cue ball. Let's have a look at this. Oh yeah, I'd be rolling straight through. He's drawn it back. It's never a good idea to draw for position, but it's worked out. It doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you get it done. Well, the angle is there. He's got to let the cue ball run. Now, is he going to chicken out and leave a long cut in this 8 ball, or is he going to run around the angles? Well, he looks as if he's putting bottom on it. It needs to run. That will do. Now this shot, again, depends on how confident you are. You can chip it in and come out for the 9 into the middle. It needs to slow down. Once again with this shot, 2 choices: hit it short and leave the 10 long into this corner here where I'm sitting, or go right around behind it and out. He's checked it up. Has it got the pace? How's that looking? Oh, it's a testy one. You've got to just pick the line and play it. If you spend 3 minutes thinking about it, you'll probably miss it. But in it goes. Confident pot. And the gap now goes to 3. Oh, that last bit of luck there that Mooncake had, putting that ball behind the 10, had Bedhead in heaps of trouble. And now he's got another ball in the break, but this time no shot. Well, the safest place is probably just past the middle pocket down here. That way at least it leaves Bedhead seeing the 1, But if he goes right down to the bottom, he might leave himself open to trouble here, Mooncake. I think I'd be playing this ball down to about here as a push out like that, because it just leaves, in fact, just leaves an edge of the one shown, and then it gives Bedhead the choice of passing it back to you. But if he goes right down here, see, he's created a little hidey hole here with the 3 and the 2 ball. The other problem though is the 9 ball's in the way. So Bedhead could of course push that back and give it to Mooncake, but he's going to play. He's called the 3, but it's really, he's just trying to hide behind the 3 and 2. Hasn't got there. And that was the danger with the shot that Mooncake played, because he could have, those balls could have finished slightly better for Bedhead to actually hide behind, and Mooncake could have been in trouble, but he's got away with it. Now Mooncake has to find somewhere where there's nothing showing, and that again is good enough. Well, he's thought again. He's called the one into the middle. Forget that. He's just he's looking to chip this one towards the 2 and 3, because that's all he can do, and get, well, he's trying to kick it. I thought he was going to play the edge of it to try and get the cue ball down here, but anyway. Now what do? You can see enough to cut the 1, and the 2 is not going anywhere up there. So again, play the safety. Well, I think pretty much most of the shots that Mooncake's played so far tonight have all been sensible shots, safety wise. Had a wee bit of running, but most of the time he's been thinking good thoughts and playing the right shot. But there was just an edge of that showing, and Bedhead has returned the compliment. And the other thing is, look at that 110 combo into the middle. If I was Mooncake, I'd be doing something. I would actually probably give ball in hand and try and just push that 9 onto the 10 and maybe create a little cluster there. I would concede that, because ball in hand for Bedhead, if he doesn't move this 1, it's going to be an easy out. He has to be thinking about that. Yep, that's the shot I would do. I would just give up, push the 9 towards the 10, make sure it's off that line, and try and lock something up rather than going to hit the 1. This is maybe not the right choice of shot. If he gets it, he's a hero. Well, he's hit it, and what's more, it's going to go safe. Or is it? Now, can he see that? Can he get past that 10 to get the potting angle? Because the 1 goes. There's no doubt the 1 goes. Well, I don't think he thinks he can get it. It looks tight. He's called the 9 to billiard onto the 9, but I think he's just trying to lock it up. Is he? No. Well, we've got an interesting little safety battle here. Some good exchanges. Now a chance to tuck the cue ball in behind that 5 and 8, and it's another good shot. So it's seesaw this rack as far as who's in control. It's passed back to Mooncake, and as long as that 2 and 3 remain like that, then there's no need to panic. But if Mooncake gets ball in hand on that 1, he can certainly disturb the 2 and 3. So it's a pressure shot for Bedhead. Gets the hit. It's going to be stopped by the 7. Now is he going to be really aggressive here? Force this 1 in, get some action in the cue ball, and try and rustle something up in that top right hand corner. Yeah, he's went all out for it. He needs the 1 to go safe, and it has done. Well, Bedhead this time will call the 4, and he'll play the billiard because that is on. The 1 is going to be stopped partially by the 5. I think he has to play this dead weight to try and keep himself on a shot in the 1 ball. He can't ram this up. He just has to play it dead weight, little chip off that 1. He hasn't called the 4 yet, but that's what he will be doing. So the way I see it, it's got to be dead weight to keep this 1 there or thereabouts, and the cue ball down here as well. Well, that's harder than I thought he would play it. In fact, in the end, it was more a half-hearted attempt at the billiard and more interested in the safety. But Mooncake hampered over the 4. He has the 1 ball for an attempted pot, and the cue ball is going to go into that 2 and 3. He can't avoid it because he can't risk doing anything else other than trying to hit a straight cue ball onto this 1, and needs to make sure he doesn't miss cue. He's skimming right on the top of that cue ball. Digging down. Well, this is crucial, this 1. He's went all out for it. This time Bedhead has the chance, but he's got to be careful. This will go, but there is such a narrow margin. Go to the rail too soon, it won't go in. Hit it too hard, it won't go in. Overcut it, he'll hit the 7. So a crunch shot for Bedhead, trailing by 3. Well, he's doing a fair bit of the stub waggling here. What's he looking at? He's thinking better of it, didn't fancy it. Well, what does Mooncake do here? He can only see half of the 1 ball. He could go all out for the cross bank because that is a good cross bank. Well, does he throw all his eggs into 1 basket and risk the cross bank on this 1? I think it is a good cross bank into that middle pocket. It's a more or less all or nothing shot, or can he find somewhere to get this safe? Well, he's... What the hell pocket did he call there? He called a corner pocket, but for the life of me, is he going to try and kick it in past that 9 ball in the top left hand corner? Yes, he is. Well, the good thing about that is where the 1 ball's finished up. It's not easy. The cue ball right in that jaw. But I still think I would have fancied the cross bank on that one there. It was sitting perfect to nail it into that left middle pocket. It was the type of shot that you go for it, you get it, you're a hero, you should run out, and you go, you miss it, you probably leave everything on. And that is a good safety from Bedhead. Once again, Mooncake hampered. I mean, it's not difficult to hit, and if he can hit this right, I mean, you're going to go, well, he's looking at that, is you're looking to get the edge. Oh, no, I think he should have spent a bit more time studying that Mooncake, because he could have kicked it, and now he's given Bedhead what he didn't want to. He's given him ball in hand. That shot that he was playing, I think he needed a bit more time. I think he just took it too quickly. So we know the 2 squeezes past the 3. And now loads of room. I think he's gone too straight though. Again, well, he's straight, but he can certainly work the cue ball no problem to get down on the 4. He can draw back with a wee bit of bottom left, and that will kick the cue ball off the rail out that way, but he's not risking it. Well, what's he done here? He can just get to the 4. Well, any other day Bedhead would have played down onto the 4. He would never have played that. Well, the shot that's going to decide this is going to have to be from the 8 to the 9, and that isn't easy. And if he finishes dead straight in this 7 ball, it's going to be even more tough. Well, this is hard work for Bedhead. Using the side to push that cue ball across. And again, this is tough. I mean, he's got to use power, and he's got to get this flush or it isn't going in. And the cue ball's got to move. Yep, he hasn't got there. That needed more juice. So now I think he's going all out for this cut. Look at it. He's got no margin of error. If he pushes that to that rail, it's not going in. He has to get it sweet, but he's not interested. He's looking to just feather it. Or is he? He's got me having doubts now. If he feathers it around the angles, he's coming down here, he's going to leave a shot on the 9. Well, Mooncake very quickly coming to a decision. Reverse bank the 9, and the worst possible outcome is missing it and it going across into the other pocket. He's only going to get 1 go at this. Oh goodness, it's hung up, and it's awkward though. Bedhead's going to have to use the rail and the ball to get this cue ball around. He's got lots of left-hand English on it as well, which would suggest he's going directly for the ball. No, he's using the rail. That needs to keep going. Well, there's Bedhead's favourite shot. He had to get one in tonight, and this is it. The Bedhead cut, or the bank, is it? Well, this is vital now. Still trailing by 3. And Bill's match with Sylvia is 6 minutes away. And we will join that match as soon as this one is finished. Yeah, that's just asking too much. And this is going to sit plumb for Mooncake. And this increases the pressure on Bedhead. So the lead is now double. It's 8 racks to 4. And Bedhead is on the brink here. And it's been, well, what I would say is a momentous turnaround for Mooncake's prospects, because I had him dead and buried after watching that first match, and he has proved me wrong. So Mooncake's break is dry, and Bedhead knows what he must do. Cannot afford a mistake. It has to go in, whatever shot it is, or it has to be a safety. Well, he's straightish. Although he's inside the 3, he's heading towards the 9 and 10 here. So he's going to have to maybe take evasive action here and stun this in to avoid hitting them. And that always makes the shot a wee bit more difficult. Well, he's content to leave it at the angle, so it's dead weight drop. Well, you think he's nearer the top rail than the 5 ball, so he's got an angle. Well, again, not prepared to risk anything. He's content to leave these long, and he's going to have to run through. The angle's now there, but he's got to get up. Don't leave himself short. Well, it should be one back. Well, Bedhead's break, I don't think he's had many problems. I think he's crying out for a ball now, and he's got a ball, and he has got a shot, but look at the 4. He's going to have to play the combo. We've lost the 7 ball, and it's going to have to be the 2-4. Three balls a bit of a problem, so there's work to do. And this is where the work starts. How does he get on this 3-ball? And the old yawning started, folks. Well, that's about as good as he could expect. If it keeps running, he's going to have it into the middle. But that's tight. And of course, the other problem, if there is one, is getting good on the 8. But he's not risking the 3. He's hoping for a better chance here, but as long as Mooncake doesn't do anything that is going to move that 8 and 9, then he is still in this rack, regardless of what happens here. So he doesn't want to be anywhere near the 8 and 9. I think if he went up and down, the worst that would happen is he would scratch. The other problem would be with ball in hand, Bedhead could pot the 3 and break the 8 and 9 out, so he's probably better going into the corner like that. Now, although he's left the 3 on, I don't think Bedhead can get to the 8 and 9. He's going to have to leave that for the time being, concentrate on the 5. And he's only going to get one shot at it. So, dare I say it, it's another vital visit for Bedhead. He's on the verge at the moment. He's trailing by 3 at the table with a problem to deal with. I don't think that gets the job done, does it? As you're looking at the 10, I think he's lining up for the combo instead. Well, this is definitely got to be that, unless he thinks he can draw to the rail and spin into that 8 and 9. No, it's definitely a go at the combo. So this to get back within 2. Oh, and it's hung. Where's the 6-ball going though? That's going to be in play. And of course, now the thing is what is Mooncake going to do? Because he's not got a bank in the 6 to bank it onto the 10, I don't think. It's too narrow to get the cue ball out of the way. Now, if he was a cowboy player, he could go off the 6, 1, 2, maybe 3 rails and chip the 10. That's what you do in cowboy, but this ain't cowboy. Well, he's called the 10, but for the life of me, I don't know whether he thinks he can get this 6 off that end rail and get the cue ball out of the way. He's going with the cue ball by the looks of it. He's doing the cowboy shot, folks. No, yeah, he is. In it goes, and commentators' eye called it again. He took the brave shot, went for the cowboy carom, and billiard onto the 10, and that was just reward for a brave shot. And what's more, he's broke. The 2-ball hasn't knocked a cue ball in, and Bedhead has got absolutely no shot whatsoever in the 1. He's right behind the knuckle. Well, that was a deserved shot. Well, the double was on. I just think it was too narrow to risk because it was difficult to get the cue ball out of the way, I think, and how he would have to line it off that short rail. But the other shot that was always on was the 3-railer to the 10, or the 2-railer to the 10, 2 or 3, and he played it perfect. hats off to the guy, thoroughly deserved, brave to take it on, but that's what you have to be at this stage. And what's more, it's put him in the hill. Leading by 9 racks to 5. Well, he's called the one, and it's gone safe, although he may well be in trouble in a sec, but he just doesn't want to get too far ahead of himself. Just be patient, and this will be a tremendous win for Mooncake. Again, just purely on the comparisons of how he played in his first match that I saw to this match. It's been totally different, two different people. Now is Bedhead trying to chip the one in behind the 6 and 7 and run the cue ball around the angles? Yes, he is, but he might leave it exposed like that. Oh, that is so tight. Well, if you look at it like that, you would say the one will go if you cheat the pocket, but I don't think it's I don't think that's going. I think it's far better to look at hiding the cue ball. Well, he's called the one, but it is really, really tight. It's got to just miss the 6, but I think it will hang up. And he might just be doing it to fool me anyway. Well, he's tried to cheat it in, but look at the end result with the cue ball. He was on the 2, and he's got the cue ball nailed to the 6. And what's more, that 2 ball is possibly in the way of a fairly easy kick. Is he trying to just squeeze it past with a wee bit of English, is he? He doesn't want to get too much on it. He's just going to have to miss this too. And he's played it well. So a good shot by Bedhead, and a chance to run out. So Bill and Sylvia should be underway. They've been playing for about 5 minutes, provided they are both here, I assume. Where's the cue ball? I think he's okay. Quick look. Where the hell are they? There we go. And Bill is up 1 rack to 0. Bedhead with all the hard work to do. On the brink. One mistake and it could be all over. I'll tell you what the other problem is. He's going to have to get from that 7 onto that 8 ball, which is closely guarded by the 9. Well, if he gets on the short side of that 7 ball, just dropping in behind it, it means he's going to be rolling up to the far side. That's the plan. He's rolling up to get sort of on that line, roughly like that, to be near that 8 ball. And he's just avoided a scratch. and of course stuck to the side rail. Doesn't give him many options, but he's gonna have to just go forward and behind the 9 to take it into this opposite corner. But I think that 8 ball is tight. That 8 ball's frozen. So he's came back the way, and look at where the 10 ball is. This is the route to disaster, this 10 ball. Always a problem, just judging the pace to come down on it. Well, he's almost got there. But this, to survive and to get back within 2, and with the break, it's Bedhead just hanging on. And the 3 ball's thinking about it, and it goes. And he's probably going to have to call the 8, and that's not easy if he's want to play a shot here. He can cut the 1 the other way, but nothing's easy. Or he can bank the 1 up the table and play a safety in behind the 2 and 9 and the 5 and 10 in that cluster in the bottom right hand corner. That would be the easiest shot to play. It would be the more sensible shot to play as well, considering the way the balls are sitting. And if he gets Mooncake in trouble, he could have ball in hand with a chance to get back within 1. So it's a good safety required, and that will do. And that is exactly where you want to be, right on that 9 ball. That is what you class a good safety when you get there. It's tight, it's limited availability in options, and the lay of the balls could give Bedhead another survival rack. So Mooncake looking to kick. He's not got much room to work with here if he's going that way. He's more than likely going to hit the 9 coming back off the rail. It's so tight. Got to hit the 9 here. Yeah, you see, that's why he did that, because he had nothing to work with. He was right smack on that 9 ball and gave actually no options. So Bedhead has got the reward for the good safety. Ball in hand. Well, he's got himself stuck behind the 1 here. The 9 and the 4 are tied up, and he's looking to call the 1-10 combo into that middle pocket. He's given it serious consideration. He's made his mind up, and it's not easy, but the better he can get that line onto the 10, the better chance he has, but it hasn't gone. And well, that's tied another ball up. So this is developing into a bit of cat and mouse now. I mean, Mooncake can pot the 1, but I think, you know, there's the only value you can get from potting this is to have the option of playing a decent safety. I don't know what he played there, but Bedhead's certainly going to open up the 8 and 9 here. Sorry, the 8 and 10 here if he goes in off the 8. look at the 2. Look at the 2 and the 10. There's nothing set here, but I don't think he's got many more options. I mean, if he just pushes through in the 2, he'll probably hook Mooncake behind the 10. But is that 10 ball not going to be inviting enough for Bedhead to try the combo again? No, he's going for the pot. Well, that hasn't improved anything. Well, he thinks he can get the billiard. He needs to watch the double kiss though, that's the problem with this shot. That 4 ball could push the cue ball away straight away. Oh, he's got it. And he's back to within 2. And, well, the 3 ball I don't think was going in. And the path was blocked by the 2. The break is dry. And Mooncake can see enough of the 1 to make the cut. But what's more, if he doesn't get the cut, the cue ball is tracking a good path for a half decent safety here. And he'd be very unlucky if he didn't see the 2 ball. Well, I don't think that was a shot somehow, because he was, I mean, it was brave if he's played to hold on the 2 and go for the match, but in the end, has he got away with it? He went all out for the pot. Oh, goodness me. Well, trying to bend around a big miscue from Bedhead. And, well, Mooncake has got the first big chance to seal the deal here. And every ball has a pocket. There are no obstructions. It's the old join the dot routine. Oh, I think again he was a bit tentative there, and he's got away with it. I think the nerves are just showing a wee bit here from Mooncake. Got to show a wee bit more positivity there, because that might be his best chance in this rack, because you just never know what's going to happen. But Bedhead has got a heap of trouble to deal with here. Well, as can he find the line, just plain ball? He thinks he can. I mean, he's got a big chance of hitting it, going off the end rail onto the 2. And, well, no harm done there. But I think Mooncake is feeling the pressure now, even though he's still got a 2-rack lead. Mooncake's just got to think, well, Bedhead is the one who cannot afford a single mistake. All the pressure's on Bedhead. He's the favourite for the match, or at least he was in my book. And he's now at the point where he cannot afford big mistakes. Well, that's a brilliant shot. I don't know whether he played it or he didn't, but unfortunately he's hooked himself in the 3. He played the 4. I think he was hoping to run that that the 2 ball into the 4, and where the cue ball's finished, he would have left it pretty safe. Oh wait a minute, it's a missed call. That's what it is. Keep your head on here, Hugh. I forgot it was a missed call. He'd called a 4 and potted a 3. So now Bedhead has now wait a minute here, was it Bedhead that was playing the shot there? I really am ready for my bed, because the turn has been passed. You need to keep me right, guys, because my concentration's gone. It's that time of night. So it's Bedhead back at the table with the missed call. Mooncake doesn't like the lay of the table and has passed it back. And this could be Bedhead's last shot right now. So ball in hand, the best possible outcome for Mooncake. And is he going to get the job done? He's going to have to get from the 4 to the 5. If he gets out and fairly straight, then it's simple enough, it's the draw. And he just doesn't want to overcook it. And he won't get a better opportunity than this now. Now, this is where you just have to take your time. You're a bit straight on the 5. You don't want to pinch too much. If you play the draw, you'll be on the 6. You've just not got to overcook it. Oh, I don't think he's there, is he? Is he there? I don't think he's on it. Well, it's very tight. Well, he's going for the jump, and he got one of these earlier on where you're skimming over the object ball. Oh, he's played that well. He's had a good practice at it the first time round, and the second time is successful as well, but what a shot he's going to have to dig out here in this 7. Well, that's a good score so far. Bill had won the first rack when I checked that board, and if Bill's made the odd mistake, Sylvia's going to take them out. So we'll jump straight into that match as soon as we've got a result here, which we might have or we might not. Where's the 7 ball ending up? It's going to be over the middle pocket. Well, now Bedhead has got to get from this 8 ball to the 9, and that is not a given. It's not guaranteed to get good in it. The 10 ball is always the ball that creates a problem here, because you're limited as to what side you're going to, and it could come into play if you choose the wrong side. So this is it. And well, he's fairly straight. He can obviously force an angle here, no problem, but can he get enough in the cue ball without killing it to get it up towards the 9? That's the problem. Well, that looked easy enough to pot the ball, but the problem is the angle and the room, and if you start hitting the ball too hard, you're merely going to kill the cue ball and stop it travelling. And he's trying to get as much distance out of it as he could. So now, did he call the bank or has he called the cut? It's the bank, and that ain't there. And this 9 ball is going to be on for Mooncake, and this match has surely got to be over. So Mooncake, who said this could go to decider? Keith, you've just shot that down in flames. Anyway, it has been a tremendous result for Mooncake. I am most impressed now. I was not impressed in his first match because he played like a noob, but what a difference. And he wins by 10 racks to 7, and he thoroughly deserved it. I must say, that was well done. So we will head out, but we will traverse into the Bill Sylvia match via the HUD or the bracket or whatever the hell you want to call it. And we can see, as Larry confirmed, Sylvia is up by 3 racks to 1. Yeah, that really was a good result. I mean, it was night and day. I keep saying it, but go and watch his first match against Spectre Dawn. He was absolute garbage, and he has certainly got his act together today. And it was a good performance. A bit nervy here or there, but really solid. I mean, 2 or 3 of the guys said, you know, this is not the way he plays when he was playing Spectre Dawn, but I didn't believe them, and I certainly believe them now. He certainly played far, far better and was well worth the win. So Bill, well, if Bill keeps making mistakes like those, this is just playing straight into Sylvia's hands. Good angle in the 5. So a reminder again to anybody who's joined late, we've just watched the Bedhead Mooncake match on the 1-loss side. Mooncake coming through good, and this is another one on the 1-loss side, and this is another one where Bill was a favourite, and he's trailing, and he could be trailing by 1 more in a couple of minutes. Well, I don't think you were lucky. I think, I mean, and I'm being brutally honest here, I think you were total shit in the first match against Spectre Dawn. You looked a bit too nervy, but I thought you were a class apart tonight in that match against Bedhead. Okay, if you get a wee bit of lucky roll here and there, then fine, but your lucky roll to a good solid win, and that was well done. I call shit when I see it, and when I see somebody turn it around like they did tonight compared to that first match, you got to take your hat off to you. Well played. And oh goodness, you can't do that. That's a Beatles song, by the way. Do 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 do. You can't do that. Oh dear, that was a big mistake by Sylvia. That was a rat gone begging there. And these are the things you've got to take at this level now. There's no room for unforced errors. Well, dare I have a look at the bracket? I think I will, just while this is going on at the moment. Quick look, let's have a look. So that's the Bill Sylvia match. Let's look up. Where the hell is that match? Now there's the Mooncake Bedhead result, and there's Mooncake waiting, lying in wait for the winner of the Cobra Hazard match. Well, has to be said, Cobra's the strong favourite for that. The assumption is Hazard's going to be back in the country if they'll let him in. I have my doubts on that, so it may well be a forfeit as well. I think he said he'll be back, but it's looking strong odds that you could be up against Cobra. And good luck in that one if it happens. So, back to business here. No, you need to just, all you need to do is use the common sense, play the sensible shot. There was maybe maybe I don't know whether you want to watch the rerun, but there was maybe one or two shots where I thought, again, it wouldn't have been the shot I would have played, but in some of them you got away with them. But if you just play common sense shots and don't do the stupid things and create problems, then it's a way of just adding pressure to the opponent, no matter how good they are. It's a 2-horse race, and as long as you're in it, when it comes to the final furlong, you're in with a chance. So the longer you can stay with somebody, like for example Bedhead, especially if you can build up a lead, you're heaping the pressure on them. Well, Sylvia now can redeem herself here. It's not an easy one. It's got to be a toughie to get down onto this 5. Got plenty of angle to work with. But that one, that shot that you played, that shot, I called it to play the I was talking, if you listen to the commentary, I was talking about the cowboy shot, like the 3-rail shot, that you'd a strong chance of getting the 10 ball, but you didn't want the you were always risking the cue ball falling in. It was a brave shot and you got the reward. I called it, and then I thought, I'm thinking, well, does he see the shot? Is he thinking about that? Because, you know, with me playing a lot of cowboy, that's the first thing that comes straight into my head. You would play the 3-rail shot with a ball near the corner pocket because it gives you good odds of hitting it, but also the closer the ball goes to the pocket, the more likely you are to knock it in. And obviously, with it being the 10 ball, all you had to do was just brush it and it was going to drop. And I thought, see, the thing is, Keith was saying that the bank was on. I didn't fancy the bank because of the line the 6 ball had to take. The worry for me was getting the cue ball out of the way, and getting some sort of double kiss. And the safest shot to me was taking a risk on the 2 or the 3 railer to get to the 10, and it all worked out. There's times where you just have to grasp the pole and say, right, I'm going for it. There are times it might be the right time, it might be the wrong time, but you've sometimes you just got to make the move, the positive move, and it all fell into place. Yeah, I mean, the natural bank wasn't really there. Mr. Bill is about to square the match. 3 racks all. Well, you should have a fair wee bit of time to get some practice in before whoever your next opponent's going to be. Let's have a look. What's the dates on them? When's that got to be played by? The 3rd of October. So I mean, that's a few days away. That gives Hazard a chance to get into the country, but well, he says, I think he said he will be back, but we will see. They might stick him into a concentration camp in Spain. Now, the 10 ball was called, and Bill has played it, and it's a quick rack to jump into the lead. Oh, that's a bit cultural for Virtual Pool 4. Mozart. Good God. I thought you were going to say something like Shaggy or something like that. I think you're clutching at a very, very long straw there, Stubb. Well, Bill was 3 racks to 1 down, and he has now got himself to where he wants to be. He's in the lead, but Sylvia at the table with a 2-3 combo, and that's, well, it's worked out okay. The little kiss keeps the cue ball in play. Now, ideally she wants to get as straight as she can on the 4, just to be able to drop it nicely into the middle. Well, that's a wee bit further away than probably would be ideal, especially being on the rail, but still simple enough to drop it in and get right behind the 5. And just, again, just a gentle drop through for a shot in the 6, but trouble is ahead here. Good angle on this 6 ball to get the cue ball up to that right middle pocket without scratching. And now the hard work starts. Well, I think the best bet is to just get the cue ball down the table, because if you can get below the 8, you can play a good solid safety. That would be my goal. If you get lucky and get right behind the 8, you can roll it in. Well, what does she see here? I think she can get the potting angle there. It's tight, or is it? Or is it the bank? That is very tight to make the pot. Yeah, I wasn't convinced with it, and I don't think it did go, but the outcome isn't bad. Well, Larry, you thought it goes. I just thought it was far too tight to squeeze the angle, being so close to the 9. We'll never know whether I was right or wrong, because it certainly didn't go in. But I would have tended to just drop the cue ball down the bottom of the table and bury Bill there. That would have been my plan. But anyway, this chance here for Sylvia is all going to be hinged on that 8. Well, does she risk drawing into this 10 to push it? No, quite right. Leave the higher cut, because it's well off the rail, and you'll get this 10 times out of 10 every other day of the week. And so Sylvia back all square. And as I said before, as long as this keeps going like this deep into the match, that's where the nerves play the part for both players. Sylvia's broke off in rack number 9, and the 3 ball has gone, and she's sitting very nicely on this 1 ball. Now let's look at the problems. Well, let's be honest, nothing has to move. 5 goes, 7 goes, as long as you get there. It's just about joining the dots again. It's just a simple thing. If you can move the ball in the right direction, you're going to get on that next ball. So this one here, all the way down the right hand side, and it has to travel. And that looks pretty good to me if it keeps going. Oh, it's just short. It is just short. She can still kick it in. So just hit the apex so that the line of that cue ball is just brushing the 5 towards the pocket. I certainly did call it. Commentator's eye. I called it first and then I thought maybe he doesn't see it. It was more than obvious, but maybe he didn't want to risk it. Well, she got it too soon. So Bill has a chance to go in the lead again. I'll say something else about you. You played a couple of, and this is something I think Albinario played one today. I've been talking about players playing jump shots in the tournament and risking them without a jump cue. Albi played a similar shot today where he was jumping over the edge of a ball to get to an object ball, but he didn't pot it. But Mooncake played 2 shots in that match tonight where he had to jump over the edge of a ball and he slammed them in both times. Good recovery shots. Well, it's the old Bedhead cut, folks. There you go. That's the type of shot Bedhead loves. And Bill's got a good go at it here. And he's hung it. And has he left it on? Yes, he has. And Sylvia knows what the outcome has to be here. Yeah, that's the decisions you live or die by as to whether your opponent's going to risk playing that jump shot when you give it back to them. And if you're prepared to take the risk, even though you've not got a jump cue, if you can perfect that jump, then it can pay big dividends. But anyway, Bill left the Bedhead cut, and as happens before with those type of cuts, you're going to run out of luck at some point. And Sylvia back into the lead. And you know something, I've got the two, what do you call them, the Tiger low deflection shafts. I don't know what one I've got in my pool cue at the moment. Well, the break is dry. Bill with first shot, but of course there's a big mess in this line of balls here. We've got the 9, which is exposed, but the 6 and 10 locked up. Well, Bill can certainly move them if he wanted to risk that, but he had no guarantee in having a shot in the 3. I don't know what he attempted there. He might have attempted to move something, but he has got a tough shot in the 3, trying to hide behind the 8. Played it well. That's a good one. Excellent safety. Well, finally in the tournament we're seeing people playing decent safeties. I've seen far too many players not even thinking about the safety, going for everything. Mind you, having said that, all of those type of players are out the tournament. Pretty much so, and that's partly the reason. You've got to mix it up. A lot of these lower ranked players think that the only way of winning is to try and pot every ball. It sounds a simple equation. That is a good way of winning, potting every ball, but when they don't have the capability to manoeuvre the cue ball to get to the next one, it's pretty much hit and hope. But we're now seeing a better standard of play as we go deeper into the tournament. And that's a good line. And that little double kiss is not a bad result. That was well played. Okay, there's a thin cut on, but as long as the 6 and 10's there, that's the old safety net again. Well, Bill's took the risk. He's got the split. He's on the 4. And as I said before, you've got to back it up. And the voice is going. You've got to take it out, Bill. Well, we've had some good matches over this weekend, and this may well develop into another one, and it could go all the way. You never know. Well, that's a bit straight again. Can't afford to risk too much here. He's going to have to leave this at distance. Well, if he starts trying to pinch anything here, it's a big risk. And then the other problem is the distance that he has got from that 8 onto the 9. So if he's going to go full pelt for this one, he's going to have to bang the 8 in and get big action in the cue ball, because if he drops 8 in, he's back to the Bedhead cut. Well, he went all out for it, and the old one where you come off the side rail coming back, you know, you're going to be risking a scratch, and it has gone wrong. But can Sylvia find the pace to get good on this 9? Well, she's not quite got into it. Has the angle to come up the right hand side to that middle pocket. It is all about the cut. Don't worry about the 10. And Bill has gone out for a break. Normal service will be resumed as soon as Bill returns to the room. And while that's going on, in fact, you know when that message is up, wait till I hit OK, because I thought when the message was up you could tab to the bracket. We'll wait till Bill gets in. So we've seen that Mooncake is through with that excellent win against Bedhead. We've got Cobra and Hazard to get sorted out. That'll be a few days away. We've got Linus and Wink at Me looking to arrange their match. Acero lies in wait. And Bill is back, and Sylvia with the cut to widen the lead to 2 racks, or extend the lead. Widen sounds a bit naff. Oh, Bill's in the stream. Oh, Bill's not back yet. I thought he was back. Right, forget that then out. Hang on, what was I talking about? Right, yeah, Acero's waiting on the winner of the Wink at Me Linus match. Wink at Me will be the favourite for that one. Linus, again, he's a good solid player, but he's going to have to be at his best to create problems for Wink at Me. The Sylvia Bill match, and line and wait for one of them is semi-pro. And we've seen what's happening over here. Jover has been advanced because Hazard couldn't make the match. He's still in Spain, and we have Jover's match already arranged with Spectre Dawn. That's for next week, and that about covers it. Stubb is all set to be playing Albinario, and that's going to be, well, today was the biggest match of the tournament between Albinario and Acero couldn't play to the same standard he had in his last match against Bill, but Stubb is going to have to be at his best, and Albinario as well, to create a very good match. Well, that goes Oh, Sylvia's missed a 9. That goes with the fact that you've sent the proposals and you've received nothing. Was it? I can't remember now. I'm losing track here, Larry. Yeah, the fact that you've sent the proposals, Linus, means that you'll go through. If you've had no response and it times out on the bracket, you'll be the one that gets advanced. So you don't need to worry about that. Oh, wait a minute, I've just read the last part. So, the last day is the Tuesday and you won't be available then. Well, what I would suggest you do is, if Tin isn't here, yeah, Bill lost to Albinario. Yeah, I'm rattling away and falling asleep. If Tin's probably gone to eat and he won't be back on tonight if he's not here. But I would actually have a word with Tin and explain that to him, so that he knows exactly what's happening. Just exactly the same question that you've said here, just mail that to Tin through the messaging system. He'll get it, he'll read it, and he'll tell you what he'll do. Anyway, if I can stay awake long enough and try and keep my concentration, Sylvia has a 6 racks to 4 lead. Yeah, as long as you keep Tin up to date with what's going on. I mean, Tin sees the proposals coming through, so he knows that you've sent them. You don't need to worry about that. But as long as you tell him that you know, the deadline date is the Tuesday and you can't be there, that's not your problem. The fact is, you've been available for all the days before that and you've heard nothing, so you've done everything you can to arrange the match. So look at where the 5 and the 10 is. Sylvia looking to pot the 4, probably nudge into the 6 and use it as a stopper. Yeah, she's overcut it. Well, Bill's going to have a go, because that's what she was looking for. She was looking to leave the combo in the 5-10, and Bill's going to try and do the same thing here. Well, he could have been better on it. Let's just say that. This is not the angle you want to be trying to play the combo on, and it's nowhere near in line, and he's hung it up. Now see if this was virtual pool 3. Larry will tell you that. All you do is just bang into that 5 and the cue ball could spin off the rail twice, hug the rail and go straight into the 10 and pot it. You can try and do something similar, but you won't get the same effect you got in VP3. It used to spin all day, but every time you would knock that 10 in. But if you get this sweet, you can certainly nudge the 10. But Sylvia hasn't called anything yet, which suggests she's looking to play the safe. Well, she's thinking about it now. So here goes. A good bit of English. Oh, wait a minute, she's hit the replay button by mistake. She needs to remap that replay button to the backspace like I do. Getting excited there. She's not only going to have to get the spin on it, but a good bit on it, pace wise, to get that cue ball to react. No, she went for the cut. Well, that's not the way I thought she would do it, but anyway, it's given Bill a free go to get back within 1. Well, Bill's, well, if he runs straight through, he's going to be, he's managed to hold the line. I thought he was going to run towards that 7, but looking at this is a little delicate one. Just to, well, he's drawing away from it, but I don't think he needs to. He's looking to play the combo, he could have just run that in and just let it run over to make sure he was on the 9. There's always a risk in this shot. But in it goes. And Bill with the break in rack number 12. Trailing by 1. Oh, and the 9 has eventually gone in, followed by the 2. But no shot in the 1. And this table, again, is very inviting. Now, what pocket did Bill call there? I think has he called a bank? Well, I don't know. He certainly didn't have much room. But Sylvia has got a start. Well, the thing is, if you'd been watching any of the streams that I used to watch with John Slingblade, we used to watch the matchups and the challenge matches with Earl Strickland and what do you call him, Bustamante and Efren Reyes in what do you call him, Earl's pool hall that he was in New York, the one where we stole the carpet from for Hard Times. Larry will remember the name of it because it's went straight out of my head at the moment. The Hard Times carpet is the same carpet that's in Earl Strickland's pool hall that he's in New York. Anyway, the challenge matches they had would be 10-ball matches where the rule was there was no jump cues, but you could still jump. But I don't think we saw many jump attempts in that in those challenge matches. Well, snooker would be a whole different game if you're allowed to jump in snooker, but the thing is, the first player that ever jumped in snooker would rip the cloth. The snooker cloth's not made for playing any jumps on. You would just rip it to shreds. Well, the miss by Sylvia has given ball in hand to Bill, and he should be out. And more importantly for him, he should be back all square again. Certainly Bill's making sure he can see the 10 ball. Mind you, you'd need a telescope to see it from where he is. In it goes. Well, now it's a race to 4. Bill breaking off. Oh, well, that 3 ball goes past the 8. Sylvia's got a shot in the 1. Now she's going to have to check this cue ball to avoid running into anything there. Well, she's took the risk, and that was always going to be the risk. I think you had to play that with some inside to try and check it down the table. Well, that was I don't know, it was a bit of a, I don't know whether it was a serious attempt at the pot, but the end result was good. That's not going to be there. Well, Sylvia just has to tidy things up a wee bit. She's got away with that one as well. Just a couple of shots there, which maybe a wee bit more thought needs to be taken over them. Well, now the 3-ball certainly isn't going. The best you're going to get, there's the combo onto the 8. Or try and get inside to play a difficult cut down the rail. That's about as best as you could get without hooking yourself behind the 8. And that's just held the line. Now what? Where do you get this safe? You can skim off it and try and get behind the 10. Or get at least down this line. That's not bad. Now is Bill going to be enticed into having a go here? Can he see it? Oh no, he can't. I thought he could see an edge. Now looking behind the 6, he can just kick it. Well, little delicate touch. Try and get behind a 5. Well, she's looking to try and avoid the 8. Push that 4. Yeah, I think that's the easier option, is to try and get behind a 5. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't think the angle was quite there to do it, but well, Bill, I think, has just got away with it. Well, you've missed a good match earlier on there, Cobra, if you didn't see it. Yeah, Sylvia trying to pinch a bit there to get that 4. And a good result for Mooncake, thoroughly deserved. And that's not gone according to plan for Bill. Now let's have a look at the 6. Well, the 6 goes and the 5 goes. And if Sylvia can take this out, it just adds that wee bit more. Well, if you get a chance, I mean, that video will be on my channel tomorrow by the time it's all processed. I mean, it's all part of this one, because it was a match that we were watching before we joined this one. It'll be worth watching. I'll be one, or do you want me to tell you the result? I'll be 114.9. And I think Acero was in the lead early on, but it was what I forecast. He couldn't keep up the same standard. The other problem for Acero was the first 5, I think the first 5 breaks that he had, he never got a ball. and then his break started working for him, but then he couldn't run out, so he couldn't play as good as he played in his last match, and that was my concern for him, because that was what he had to be at. That was the level he had to be at to stay with Albie and take him out. Albie is just very strong in all departments, pretty much. Meanwhile, Sylvia is getting it done here. She's going back into the lead. And we've got the potential for two results against what the commentator thinks. That's not necessarily what you guys think, but Mooncake was certainly not the favourite against Bedhead. Again, I'm judging that on his first match, which was a disaster. And Sylvia is always going to be a danger, because you leave the table with balls for pockets, she's pretty much going to take them. But Bill is still the favourite. But now it's a different scenario. He's now chasing, and that pressure is on Bill. Believe me. These have been good matches. I've enjoyed them. Where's the cue ball? That'll do. I'm out into the beautiful countryside. Oh, well, Bill, you can't do that. And this is the opportunities I'm talking about. Yeah, I shaved myself a while ago, but I did actually, I shaved a few weeks ago, and I did shave today again. And I'll tell you why, because the reason I did is because at work you've got to wear the mask, right? And when you wear the mask over a beard, it just keeps sliding over it. I actually prefer wearing the mask when I've got a bit of stubble, because it then grips and it doesn't slide. So right now I've got like the 5 o'clock shadow coming back, so that'll be perfect for tomorrow. Yeah, that's exactly, I mean, we're still in broad daylight here. There's not a puff of wind, which is why the clouds aren't moving behind me and why the trees aren't moving. But this is what Bonnie Scotland looks like. It looks like that. Oh, Sylvia, that was a chance and a half. And we're going to be back all square, and this could go all the way. Well, I mean, the only thing that's wrong with that image behind me is that it could be, but I mean, goodness knows where it is. It looks like Scandinavia, but let's say it was Scotland. But for it to be like Scotland, it would then have to be grey, damp, misty, drizzly, and you can't see any of those mountains behind me. Then it would be Scotland. That would be a perfect image of Scotland. It would be pissing the rain and you couldn't see anything. That'd be a perfect summer's day. What the hell's haggish? Is that the plural of haggis? No, the plural of haggis is haggis, believe it or not. It's a bit like sheep. Yeah, well, that is always a good excuse. I mean, tin's a perfect excuse for being Dutch. What sounds like Northern Ireland? What about you? What about you, Keith? Well, thank God for Bill's sake that the 10 ball got to the rail. Well, the only good thing about the British weather is that Northern Ireland gets the shit before Scotland gets it generally, because it usually comes across Northern Ireland and then we get belted by it. That's probably why our rain tastes a piss. It's these Northern Ireland people knowing that the bad weather's heading to Scotland, so they're all out pissing in the breeze. That's why our rain looks like I've got a yellow tint to it when it's lying in puddles. The dirty bastards that they are. And that's what's been happening for years. I used to wonder why, now I know. Well, this match is anybody's. Who's going to fold, who's going to crack, or who's going to have a hissy fit, who's going to bottle it. All those questions to be answered, folks. Just stay tuned. Well, Bill called the bank. He's taking big risks here, Bill. I mean, I think he's going by the best form of defence is attack, but the best form of falling into Sylvia's hands is taking risks. And has that got there? Well, no, it hasn't. Now is Bill going to push on to the 9? And he's not got there either. And I think he's got cover though. I don't think there's enough of the 4 exposed. Well, if you watched the McClarkey match, that, McClarkey was the favourite for that, but again, if you're leaving opportunities with an open table to somebody who's played this game for umpteen years, and is no mug, you're only going to get what's to be expected. Sylvia's going to pop balls, and McClarkey found out the hard way, and then the next match for Sylvia was a lot easier against Bankster. Oh yeah, she's been in the game as long, if not longer, than me. I mean, right from when VP3 went online into GameSpy. She's what you would describe as a veteran of the game. Pretty much all of us are. Keith's a veteran. He's now pensionable age for a virtual pool player. So am I, and so is Larry. Well, that the offline version you played wasn't Virtual Pool 3, because Virtual Pool 3 was released, I think, November 2000. I bought it the day. I'll tell you, I've told this story before. I had Virtual Pool Hall. I had Virtual Pool, and then it seemed very quickly that Virtual Pool Hall came out after it, and I got it, and then I don't even think I heard anything about Virtual Pool 3, and all of a sudden I was in Glasgow, because I used to be. I think this was before I had a car. That shows you how long ago it was. And I used to go up to Glasgow on my day off to have a look at the game stores, look around, and I saw this black box with what's her face on the front of it, Jeanette Lee, whom I didn't know at the time, and I saw, oh, Virtual Pool 3, that's a new version of the one I've had by Solaris, whoever they are, and bought it straight away. Well, that would be Virtual Pool when it first came out. And then I think there was Virtual Snooker as well with Steve Davis, and possibly Ronnie O'Sullivan on the front of the jewel case, or was it just Steve Davis? I forget. But anyway, I bought Virtual Pool 3 in November 2000 on the week that it came out over here. That is, that's not to say it came out the same time in the States. And then after the new year, because I played it for a couple of months, and then I went online and found it installed GameSpy when you installed Virtual Pool 3, and I thought, well, what's this GameSpy all about? We'll go online and find out. In fact, I'll tell you what, it's so long ago that I was on dial-up at the time. I was in a 56k modem and played Virtual Pool 3 perfectly okay. Didn't have any bother with routers and ports. Straight into the lobby, no problem. And the first person I ever played, and Larry might remember him, I think Larry's the only person here that will remember him, and he might not even remember the name, but the first person that introduced me to Virtual Pool 3 online, and also introduced me to the what do you call it, the ladder, was Kudos, and that guy's name was spelt Qudos. I don't know whether he ever came back to Virtual Pool in any shape or form, because he was long gone from Virtual Pool 3 long before Virtual Pool 3 died and GameSpy died. But he was the first person I ever met or spoke to online, and I remember it to this day. Oh, how a bit reminiscent about the old days. I think Larry's fallen asleep anyway. Yeah, GameStorm. Yeah, I've just saw Larry's message up the top there. What was that other place, Larry, that used to, I'm sure they used to play VP3 on there as well. What was the name of the other one, the sort of rival, the rival to GameSpy? What was it called again? It wasn't GameStorm, it was the other place. It seemed to die a death as well. I don't even know if it's still if it's still a place that's online. It probably died along with GameSpy. I can't remember the name of it. If you say the name of it, I'll know. What the hell was it called? That's got me bugged now. I think I went to that place once and had a look around and nobody was there. Oh, I can't remember. If somebody said the name, I would know it straight away, but I cannot dig the depths of what's left of my memory to. No. Oh, I've never heard of that. FlexMix. What was that? A graphics type game or something? Who the hell would remember the name of that place? Oh, GameSpy. It was just one name. Well, anyway, let me stop the reminiscing and concentrate on what's going on here. We've got Sylvie at the table. We've got a tied match, 8 racks all, and well, she's got a toughie on the 4. Got to get out onto that 5. And that needs to keep running, it needs to spin, but it hasn't spun around the corner enough. Oh, what was it called? I see the trouble with my memory. When I start thinking about something and I know it's in there somewhere, I'll think about it until I try and bloody get the thing, but I don't think I'm ever going to get this one. I'm trying to think who would remember. I don't think there's anybody around old enough that would remember the place. But it wasn't GameStorm, it was another one. that seemed quite popular for other types of games, but virtual. In fact, you know who would remember it, and he's nowhere near here now. Crazy. What do you call him? 1,000-year-old man on YouTube. Patrick, he would know. He's probably got a photographic memory. He would know, because he was probably cheating in VP3 in there before he came to VP3 on GameSpy to cheat. Oh, what was it called? What was it called? I bet you if I googled it, I bet if I googled old gaming lobbies or something like that, I bet you there'd be some sad person's got a website about it. That's the brilliant thing about the internet. There is bound to be somewhere. No, not Xfire. No. No, it's not that. If you said it, Larry and I would know straight away, because Larry knows what I'm talking about, but neither of us can put the name to the bloody place. Anyway, that was just another online gaming lobby, basically. It might have been around before GameSpy. No, it's not going to come out, I'm afraid. Well, Bill is going to get to the hill. No, not G Arena. I've never heard of that one either. Oh, you know the first thing I'm going to do once I'm finished this stream? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to find the damn thing, and I bet you I can find it one way or another. I bet you if I googled what was a rival gaming lobby or online gaming client to GameSpy at the time, I bet you it's on there. It's brilliant, the internet. You can educate yourself on any subject and you'll find something somewhere, because there's somebody sadder than you out there that thinks, I better catalogue this so somebody can remember the place. Well, Sylvia has it all to do. And she has an opportunity now. I don't remember him ever being in Virtual Pool 3, and he's online on Facebook, but he's never back in Virtual Pool 4. That's the type of player that Semi-Pro wants to be playing, because he'll play black ball or 8 ball on the toy table all day if you want, but he hasn't been anywhere near VP4 for a long time. Well, this is a crunch point in Sylvia's future in this tournament. Not LimeWire, not that one either. Oh, I'm surprised you don't remember it either, Keith, because you were around at exactly the time it was online. Did it begin with an S? Oh God, this is so annoying. I can't go to bed till I find out the name of it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it my life's ambition to find out the name of the damn place before I go to bed. I just hate these things like that. Well, she's gone far enough. Second Life. That's only 5 minutes old, is it not? Well, this is a crunch one. Can she drop around behind and out for this 8? Oh, she's brushed it. No. Well, this is vital to stay in the match, this cutting this 8 ball. Oh, and the pace is good. It's not bad. It's the wrong side of the 9, but really no problem. And we are going Hill all the way, final rack decider, and Sylvia with the break. Well, this is a good way to finish the night on what's been a pretty good day for some good matches. So here we go, down to the final rack. That rack's slightly tilted as far as I can see to the left, so Sylvia's going to the right, or the left as we look, but you know what I mean. Where's the 2 ball going? It's clean, it's in, and we've seen that umpteen times. As long as the 2 ball gets the run, if there's nothing comes in its way, a lot of the times its line is taking it into the corner pocket. So she's got the start, and well, this rack could very well be clinched on this 1 ball, because she's got to be on the 3, and it's just gone in. Nice angle on the 3. And is she going to hold out to take Bill out? And Sylvia, let's be honest, she's only shown the light of day since this COVID pandemic came about. She's not been in virtual pool 4 for a number of years, and she suddenly came out of the woodwork, suddenly appeared one day, and really about the time the COVID crisis came in. No, File Planet was part of it was part of the whole GameSpy thing. You know, you had Games Planet and File Planet and all that. That's where you used to download updates. I think you maybe downloaded updates from File Planet for VP3 if I remember. Anyway, it's not that. That wasn't a gaming lobby. I'll find out. I'll do everything that I'm capable of doing to get it done. But anyway, back to this match. This shot here is too straight. She's going to have to... Nope, not that one either. Top right, lots of spin and power. It needs to bounce, and that's not bad. That is not bad. Got to take the brush through on the 10. And don't hook yourself on it, or does she try and draw off it? I think this is tricky. I'm going to, if you're still in the lobby guys, once this stream is finished, I'm going to immediately go and search the web till I find the name of the place. Oh, I think she's got out of jail there. Well, that is the type of luck you need. And Bill is clinging on here. Oh, there's the fatal mistake. The coup de grace is about to be delivered. Bill has scratched, and Sylvia, with ball in hand, has surely got to take out one of the contenders for the tournament. Oh, well, anywhere up the table. And that is perfect. And so Sylvia is going to take out Mr. Bill. And it is another excellent result for Sylvia, and wins the match by 10 racks to 9. Well done. As long as you stay into the bitter end, you've always got a chance, and that is an excellent result. And she's taken out 2 9-ballers in this tournament so far on the 1-loss side, and an unexpected win, or not unexpected, depending how you look at it. If the chances were there, she was going to take them, and in the end she got that wee roll of the ball, and Bill scratching was his end in this year's tournament. So very well played to Sylvia, well played to all the other guys. Good matches today. Thanks for joining, guys. It's been enjoyable. It's now 9 o'clock, and within the next 10 minutes I am going to find the name of this damn place before I go to bed, I can assure you, and I will post it in the lobby. And in the meantime, thank you for your company. It's been a lot nicer without the odd arsehole in the stream, Stub included. So thanks for that. Take care, stay safe, and be with us for the later stages of the tournament. We will be back soon, and I will bid you good night.